Like, hello, hello. I can't believe I did it again. That's twice in a row. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Um, okay, let me see here. I think I'm okay now. Can you guys hear me? Please let me know in chat if you can. Maybe. I see Paul saying hi, seeing you loud and clear. Yeah, that's about as good as you're gonna get right now. But please let me know if you can hear audio at this point. Okay, Brian says audio on point. Great. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little off today. Anyway, good afternoon, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to another episode of hashtag TNT JoeFi, tech news that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. I am your host, Jerome Ortega. This is episode something something because I lost count. This is also day something something in quarantine because I also lost count. How's it going, everyone? Hopefully you've had a good weekend. Hopefully everyone is doing well, staying safe, and all those other good things. I have a very slow news day today, and that's my own fault. I've just had so much going on. I haven't had a ton of time to really go through stories, but we will take some time and just discuss things. I don't have a lot today. So if there's anything that you guys want to discuss, please feel free to let me know in the comments, and we can go through a lot of that. I have a lot of catching up to do in terms of just all my other work. I have a lot of things coming down the pipeline, and I'm just trying to get my head straight. So hopefully I can get that done. But real quick, I do want to say hi to everybody, or at least people in the chat so far. Brian is in here, TNT Joe 5, first of the week edition. Brian, welcome to the stream, man. Glad to have you. Nice that you could make it. Glad to have you on, man. Paul is in here as well. Again, hi, seeing you loud and clear. How's it going, Paul? Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you as well. Y 2019. Hi. Hey, Y, how's it going? Glad you could make it as well. Y is also saying, you sound sleepy. Have you slept well? I slept okay. I have a couple personal things happening right now. It's not the best of news, and I don't really want to dig into that. So I am kind of treading through. Yeah, just times are very weird, and a lot of things are just weird, and I don't know. So, but I wanted to do this stream because I want to, sometimes for me, staying busy is a lot easier than kind of going through, I don't know. Anyway, guys, welcome to the stream. Nice to have you. I appreciate all of you stopping by, making it. Again, hopefully you've all had a good weekend. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me try to get out of this funk here. So this first article I have here is from BGR. BGR is a very Apple heavy site, if I remember correctly. I think they're pretty Apple biased, but yeah. So anyway, this article from BGR says, video reveals what Apple's leaked iPhone 12 design will look like in real life. Apple's iPhone 12 design has been detailed in a variety of leaks and rumors that claimed Apple will bring back the flat edges from the iPhone 4 and 5. I actually like those flat edges, so for me, it's a welcoming addition or reintroduction to the new iPhone, or at least a welcoming, whatever you want to call it. So the iPhone 12 series will offer buyers 4 models coming in 3 displays, or 3 display sizes, all featuring the same overall design. Oh, I didn't know it was going to have 3 different sizes. I thought it was just going to be, the regular size. And well, no, it would be 3 because of the Pro is going to be different than the 12. The 12 will be different from the 12 Pro, will be different from the 12 Pro Max. So these dummy units are already circulating in the wild, with a YouTuber having been given access to mock-ups of the 5.4-inch, 6.1-inch, and 6.7-inch phones. The iPhone 12 design isn't exactly a secret. A variety of rumors and reports claim the 2020 iPhone models will take their inspiration from the iPhone 5 and the iPad Pro. That's to say, the handsets will feature flat edges instead of the curved ones seen on the latest iPhones. The new phones will also have rounded corners and a flat display. The iPhone 12 will come in 4 versions, including 2 regular iPhone 12 phones and 2 iPhone 12 Pro models. In all, we'll have 3 iPhone 12 sizes this year: 5.4, 6.1, and 6.1 and 6.7 inch. Apple is expected to unveil the new handsets in September, but these dummy units are circulating right now, and a new video gives us a look at what Apple's leaked iPhone 12 designs look like in real life. So I just kind of went through this video really quick, and like 10 seconds worth. I was really just trying to scrap everything up and, put a couple stories out here so that, we could have a conversation today. But I figure to have somebody actually have a mock-up of the iPhone 12 would be interesting to take a look. The rear panel of the 12 models will also be made of glass, so they can continue to support wireless charging. It says here, the 5.4-inch iPhone 12 will be the most compact iPhone ever with a notch. The phone will be even smaller than the 2nd-gen iPhone SE that Apple released a few months ago, but it will feature an all-screen display. So I think this is a big plus here. To have a phone that is the same size as the iPhone SE, but no Touch ID on the front, and you're just going to have a full screen display, I think is an awesome form factor, a much smaller form factor that I think a lot of people will appreciate. Not all 4 iPhone 12 models will feature a triple lens camera in the back. The cheaper ones will just have 2 cameras, while the Pros will get a 4th sensor. Wait. Okay, yeah, cheaper ones will just have two. Okay, the LiDAR sensor that was introduced on the 2020 iPad Pro, as is the case with the iPhone dummy units that we see every year before Apple launches a new phone series. The iPhone 12 mockups don't tell the full story. The iPhone 12 will be the first iPhone series to support 5G connectivity, and the premium handsets are rumored to pack 120 hertz ProMotion OLED screens, something that I would welcome easily. I would love to see 120 hertz display on the next iPhone. All four iPhones will have OLED panels, which will be another first for Apple. Finally, the phones will run iOS 14 on Apple's brand new A14 chip. Apple has already unveiled the main features of iOS 14, but anything that's iPhone 12 specific will have to wait until September. So I just want to kind of go through. I already just clipped to got to a certain part of this video, and apparently this is the iPhone 12 Pro. I didn't even listen to the audio, so I'm just assuming from what I can see, and this is the dummy unit. And this is an iPhone SE here, I think. I'm assuming. And look at how much smaller the form factor is on this iPhone 12 Pro versus the iPhone SE. Right? Wait, is this the iPhone 12 Pro? I should have listened. I just didn't have time earlier. But this is a very, very small form factor for sure. This can't be the 12 Pro, is it? Because why does it have triple rear cameras on the back? I really should have listened to the audio on this. Whatever. Anyway, either way, it looks. I would really appreciate a much smaller form factor. For me, that's something that I really like in terms of a phone. I don't really care for a really tall display or a really big display. I would much rather have a smaller form factor. This looks super small. It looks really nice though. I also like the, what is that, chrome on the edges here for the phone. So, okay, this is, wait a minute. This can't, if this is the iPhone 12, wait, that's not the iPhone 12. No, this is a real, I don't know what that is. I don't know, guys. Just, anyway, whatever this mock-up unit is, looks pretty good, at least from what I'm seeing here. And I can't wait to see what comes out of it. So we will we'll dig into that maybe a little later, especially if you guys have info on it. We can talk about it. Again, a lot of this today, guys, I'm winging a lot of it. It's been a kind of a rough day for me today, but I just wanted to have our show and stay busy and do everything we need to do. So let me go back up here and just make sure I didn't miss anyone. I see a $3 super chat from RSILI NYC. How's it going? RSILINNYC with a $3 super chat. Stay up, Jerome. We got you. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. It's it's rough for everybody right now, just not just me. So like anyway, thank you, man. Thank you for being in the stream. Thank you for the support as always. Thank you for the additional support. It means a lot to me. So many thank yous. Deepak Murthy is in here as well. Hey, Jerome. Hey, Deepak. How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you in here. Appreciate you stopping by. Team Varai is in here as well. Happy Monday, people. Happy Monday, Team Varai. How's it going, man? How was your weekend? Hopefully it was good. Big House is in. Everyone's in here now. Big House Productions. Hey, everyone. What's going on, Big House? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, Big House saying, man, that's tiny. It is. It's super tiny. And I really should have listened to the video so I could have given you guys more context on which phone was which and what he was comparing it to. Why is saying, I think that would be the 5.4 inch. I mean, I think it is, but I thought the 5.4 inch was only dedicated to the iPhone 12 and not the iPhone 12 Pro. Because am I reading that right? Isn't the iPhone 12 Pro going to have a 6.1 inch? So it says here, all right, I'm going back up here. So, in all, we'll have 3 iPhone 12 sizes this year, 5.4, 6.1, and 6.1 and 6.7 inch for the 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max. But if I thought the iPhone 12 Pro is only going to have 2, or I thought the iPhone 12, the 5.4 inch iPhone 12 was only going to have 2 lenses, or is that dummy mock-up just showing 3 lenses on all of them? Maybe that's what it's doing. So I don't know. Anyway, Gandek, hey, Gandek, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you. The standard iPhone 12 Pro will be 6.1 inch, so it's matching up to the iPhone 11, which is also 6.1 inch. Thank you, Gandek. Thank you for helping clarify that. I mean, that's the one I'm going to be buying. I'm going to be buying the iPhone 12 Pro for sure on day one when it comes out, or at least pre-ordering it and getting it ready to go. Yeah, I think it's the iPhone 12 5.4 inch. You guys are right. Lunky Games. Hey, Lunky Games. How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you. Haven't been able to join the stream in a while due to work. It's all good, man. Appreciate you stopping by. As always, love the show. And I love having the video on demand on YouTube. Thank you, Wonky Games. Thank you for always supporting. Thanks for being around. Even if it's just listening to the stream or catching a replay, I always appreciate it. Love that you guys are always staying tuned in and coming in when you can. So Wonky Games, thank you for stopping by. Y says, I don't think a 6.1 inch phone, the 12 Pro, would be smaller than the 4.7 inch SE. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. For sure. For sure. Deepak P, another Deepak in here, the Snap 875. We will go through that. Deepak P, I don't think I've seen you in here before, but appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you making the stream. Thanks for hopping on, man. Do the 5 nanometer chips consume less battery? I would assume that they would. I mean, I think every time they drop that, that size, it's more efficient overall. So I would assume it would consume less battery. And I mean, if my memory serves correct, every iteration of a new Snapdragon chipset will always improve in those regards: performance, power efficiency, all of that. So, but we'll get into it. I haven't even had a chance to really read that article, so we'll talk about it in a second. Brian is in here. Brian, of course, Brian's in here. I already said that. Brian, welcome to the show. Guys, I'm really out of it today. I'm so sorry. Some of it is just muscle memory when I speak. Brian with the $1 super chat. Brian, thank you so much, man. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the continued support. Thank you for the 80 plus something super chats in a row. Brian's always coming in here with that additional support, and also for the moderating. Thank you so much, Brian. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Why says, wait, there are 2 Deepaks? Apparently they are for now. Deepak says, the smaller the lithography process goes, power consumption gets better. There you go. Deepak, thank you for clarifying and putting that out there. Appreciate it. All right. So yeah, the iPhone 12, I am definitely waiting for that phone. I think it's going to be a beast of a phone, just like the iPhone 11 Pro, hopefully with an even better battery. If it has 120 hertz display, even better. Smaller notch, even better. Better camera, even better. So if anything, if it's all these small upgrades, which are, pretty big for somebody who might, not even have the iPhone 11 or 11 Pro and might have the iPhone 10 or the 10s, I think these will be fantastic upgrades if they can continue on with, bettering their 11 Pro. So I'm looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to it. Deepak P says, AMD Ryzen is developing a new mobile flagship GPU. I swear I read about that, or at least I seen that. That would have been a good article to go over. I don't have too many articles today. It was a kind of a crazy morning. So, anyway, let us continue on here. Let's go ahead and talk about. We'll continue with the iPhone 12, because the one thing I wanted to talk about was this rumor or whatever got leaked. And this article from GSM Arena is saying the iPhone 12 series will record 4K videos at up to 240 frames per second. According to a new source code found inside iOS 14 Beta 1, the iPhone 12 series will have an option to record 4K videos at 240 frames per second. That is pretty insane to have 4K at 240. The new format will be joined by a 4K at 120 frames per second option. The report comes courtesy of Pine Leaks and Everything Apple Pro, and details that and details that the 4K at 240 frames per second option will likely be limited to slow motion, while the 4K at 120 frames per second could be available for regular video recordings. So this tweet from Pine says, as stated in the report, together with every Apple Pro, we were able to discover evidence of 4K 120 and 4K 240 frames per second video modes inside the latest iOS 14 Beta 1 file system. In accordance to that, we believe that the upcoming iPhone will allow for 4K 120 FPS native video recording. The iPhone 11 series can capture 4K videos at 60 frames and slow-mo 240 ones at 1080. The iPhone 12 series is expected to arrive in 5 varieties, with 2 vanilla versions and 2 Pro versions, all with 5G, as well as an entry-level LTE iPhone 12. Oh, okay, so this is actually talking about this entry-level LTE iPhone 12. I was talking about how on Friday Night Tech Talk that there were rumors that maybe they will have just a 4G LTE iPhone 12 version that might be even cheaper than $650 if they release that, and maybe have one at $550 replacing the iPhone XR, but I don't know. Or will they have an entry level LTE iPhone 12 with no 5G, and that's what's going to be priced at $650? I guess both of those might be possible. Maybe, but I don't know. The standard iPhone 12 is expected to come with a 5.4-inch OLED display and a 14 Bionic chip. There's also the 12 and 12 Max with 5G and their Pro counterparts, and we've talked about this. Possible 120 hertz refresh rates displays. And then in terms of the cameras, rumors suggest entry-level phones are expected to come with dual shooters, but as long as it comes with a main shooter, I think it's still going to be a really good iPhone 12, while the flagships will have 4 modules with a dedicated telephoto camera with 3 times optical zoom. It actually will be great to see the iPhone 12 to do 4K at 240 frames per second, because in a lot of respects, to have that at slow-mo, I think will look really, really good. I mean, it's just another mode that you can have to showcase, right? Especially if you want to do videography and you have that option. Sometimes it's really nice to have slow-mo like in a really buttery kind of like 240 frames per second speed. So something to look forward to for sure. Definitely for sure. Okay, so let me see here. Brian says, whoa, how much storage will that use? Yeah, that's actually a really good point. But if all these iPhone 12s are going to have 128 gigs of internal storage, at least that'll give some space for future iPhones. RSILINNYC says, so when is Google going to copy Apple with these impressive specs, yo? I don't know. And actually, I have an article about iOS, Apple, and Android again, and I was going to save that towards the end because that might be a longer discussion. But that's a really good point. I don't know. We all have our certain opinions with Google and Android, and yeah, we all want to see them do well, but I think they do well for the most part. I don't know. Deepak's asking, do I play PUBG Mobile? I do not. I actually don't play a lot of mobile gaming games. I play Scrabble. I play Scrabble Go, which really frustrates me because that they have bastardized that game. That's really the only game I play, honestly, on mobile. And if you ask me what I do play, I play a lot of Rocket League on PC, on Steam. That's about all I play. I have over 2,000 hours in that game because I am addicted to Rocket League. But no, I don't play PUBG Mobile. Is there a reason you're asking, or do you play? I don't know. Brian's saying here, I hope they do, but Android will always be behind with their SoC. Unless they make their own SoC, right? Then maybe the competition will get a little spicy, right? They better keep that super wide cam. You talking about Apple? I'm sure they will. The ultra wide, for sure. Even at 128 gigs, that's not enough. You're right. I mean, it really isn't enough, but I am not going to be paying $1,100 for 256 gigs of internal storage. Or would I? would I pay $1,100 for 256 gigs? I keep running out of my 64 gigs of storage. I have to always clear out my photo. I mean, all my photos get saved to the cloud anyway with Google Photos, but every time the 64 gigs gets eaten up, I just delete all the photos off of my phone and then just redo it. And it's very annoying. Something I wish I didn't have to deal with. Ahmed, Housamedin. Housamedin? Am I saying that right? Housamedin? Let me know if I'm saying that right. Ahmed, welcome to the stream. Good evening, Jerome. What's up? Not a whole lot, man. Good evening to you over there. It's afternoon here, but wherever you're at, appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you joining the stream. Nice to have you. Nice to see you. Y2019 says, Jerome, I sent you an article of a new Redmi smartphone's supposed renders, which will be announced tomorrow. You know what? Why I am going to pull that up right now because I am always very behind when it comes to people messaging me. And because I do have a lack of stories today, I will pull that up. Also, sorry for all of you guys that do send me stories. I don't always have the chance to go through it. So thank you. Why I am going to pull that up and I am throwing it here right now and we will talk about that later. So, okay, let us move on. Now I need to find where I put my stream. Here we go. Deepak says Apple's chips are way ahead of the competition, but they ask top dollar for their iPhones, and they do. But we'll actually talk about top dollar. That's actually a great segue. We're going to talk about top dollar because right now we're going to talk about the Snapdragon 875. So you want to talk about top dollar? I heard that they are going to start pricing this, and see, it's a perfect segue. So Deepak, thank you. It was like it was timed and it was planned. This article from GSM Arena says the Snapdragon 875 will reportedly support 100-watt fast charging, cost dearly. A key selling point of the Snapdragon 875 will be its support for 100-watt fast charging, says Leakster Digital Chat Station. This will be marketed as a perk for gaming phones with large batteries, as it will reduce the downtime between gaming sessions. Qualcomm is expected to introduce the 875 in December and to have it ready for iPhones and to have it ready for phones in Q1 of next year. So for the next Galaxy, whatever they call it, S21, S30, whatever they call it. That's probably going to be the first phone, I'm assuming, that's going to have this 875. The chip is reportedly already being mass produced by TSMC on a 5nm node. It may use the new Cortex X1 as its prime core, plus 3 Cortex A77 for the big cores. In the meantime, the company is expected to release a Snapdragon 865 Plus next month. So this 865 Plus is supposed to be an overclocked version of the current Snapdragon 865. It will increase its prime core to 3.09 gigahertz, quite a boost compared to the 2.84 gigahertz clock speed of the current S865 chips. I think the first phone that they're talking about that's going to use this 865 Plus is going to be the Note 20, or at least the rumor that we've been hearing. And some companies may want to use that one instead, as rumor has it that the Snapdragon 875 will be significantly more expensive than its already pricey predecessor. When they say significantly more, it just makes me think, how much higher can we go when it comes to phones? Is $1,000 for a phone not enough? I mean, $1,400 for an S20 Ultra is already ridiculous, but the full package, including the hardware needed for wireless connectivity, will cost $250, up from $150 to $160 for the Snap 865. The chip alone will go for $130 versus $80 for the 865. Supporting 100-watt probably adds to the cost as well, but Qualcomm is not the only company working on that. Currently, several other companies are working on charging speeds in that range. Xiaomi did a demonstration last year. Vivo teased 120-watt super flash charge. Samsung announced a 100-watt USB power delivery chip of its own. How fast would a 100-watt fast charger charge, like, say, a 4,000 milliamp hour battery? Like 20 minutes? 15 minutes? Is that what they're talking about when they're talking about 100-watt charging? That's ridiculously fast. But I will always have to ask, how is that going to affect its overall battery life on a phone? You would think that something that charges a phone that fast would start to deteriorate one of these batteries, unless they've figured something else out. But Anyway, yeah, Snapdragon 875 probably going to be, seen in the next whatever Galaxy flagship that comes up, not the Note 20. The Note 20 will probably have that 865 plus, like I was just talking about, but that 875 will probably have whatever the S30, S21, whatever they call it. But when they say it's going to cost $250 up from $150 to $160 for the Snapdragon 865, does that mean that the next Galaxy flagship phone is going to cost $1,100 now instead of $1,000? Does that mean the Galaxy S30 Ultra or S21 Ultra is going to now cost $1,500? And it wouldn't surprise me, because in my head I'm like, well, $1,500 is a very round number and it just makes sense to put it there. But I would not pay I was about to say I would not pay $1,500 for a phone, but I keep looking at that Huawei P40 Pro Plus that I still feel like I'm going to drop $1,600 on. So never say never, right? All right, let's go back in here and take a look at chat. So Team Verizon says C's 875. Well, guess I'm sticking with my 600s. Not 600s. What about 700s, right? Brian says phones are already too much money. Yep. It would melt your battery. Y says Dimensity needs to step up to be competitive and stop the monopoly that Qualcomm has on the highest end. And I'm assuming chipsets is what you're saying. Y, I agree. Again, nothing wrong with more competition to help the playing field or help level the playing field, help these crazy prices being where they're at. Ahmed is saying here, Jerome, I have a question. Are we going to have an AMD GPU inside that custom Exynos processor designed for the Pixel 6? I don't know. And actually, I think it was Deepak P who was mentioning that earlier when it comes to that Exynos or not the custom chipset, but the AMD GPU. I have no idea. I actually don't know too much about it. I don't know how good that GPU is going to be or how they are going to integrate both of them, but that's something that I'll have to take some time to read up on. And actually, maybe it's something that we can talk about today, but it really just depends on the time. But that AMD GPU, for any of you guys that know more about it, can you tell me what the big points of that GPU are? How is this GPU compared to what's happening right now with the Adreno series for Qualcomm? Or, I mean, even when it comes to terms of Apple, how good is this GPU? How good is it supposed to be? What about pricing, or what can we expect from it? And when you mentioned the custom Exynos chipset that Google is trying to make for the Pixel 6, have they already talked about combining it with this AMD? Because I don't know. Again, I don't know much about it, so please feel free to share, guys. I'd be interested on how you feel or what you know about it. Y2019 says Dimensity 1000 Plus is good, but not good enough to compete. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they're already working on some kind of a successor to it at this point, especially if Qualcomm is already steadily working on more chipset at this point. Deepak Murthy is saying 765 is excellent, and that's what I've been hearing, and I'm looking forward to that. I would love, again, though, to see a 770 or a 768G for the Pixel 5, or that 775G that might be coming out. But I think the 765 will be a really good chipset, and hopefully if they can price it at a decent price for the Pixel 5, or like the OnePlus Z that might be coming out for $350 or $400, I think is going to be great to see. Sean is in here. Sean, what up? What up, Sean? How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you. Nice to see you. Appreciate you stopping by. Darkman X2G is asking, will the Pixel 5 be a custom processor too? Is this answering your question? Okay, that's making me dizzy. The Pixel 5 will reportedly have a Snapdragon 765 chipset in it. Maybe a Snapdragon 768. Maybe, but most likely a Snapdragon 765. If the rumors are correct, it still might even be priced at $700, which I hope it will not be. Maybe $650, which would be more reasonable. But if it could be lower than $650 or $700 for a Snapdragon 765, that would be more ideal, because when you price, if the Pixel 5 prices at $650, it's going to be hard to compete against the iPhone 12, especially with a 765G chipset. But I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it'll be suffice. It'll be I don't know. It'll be good is what I'm trying to say. Darkman X2G, welcome to the stream. I don't know if I've seen you in here before, but appreciate you stopping by. Brian says Qualcomm can EAD for those prices, and I am not going to say that because my streams have been monetized now ever since I stopped swearing, which kind of sucks because I'm just very used to cursing all day and saying how I feel, but I can still say how I feel without being too vulgar. But yes, Brian, I agree. They can EAD. Very much so. Team Verizon says back in 2011, I had a cheap Samsung Android with 290 megabytes of RAM. And it just shows how far mid-range phones have come these days from those times. The 875 is definitely not for everyone. It's definitely not for me, not at that price point. Very expensive phone. And unless I had money to burn, I really don't see a point in getting that 875. Ahmed says it was benchmark destroying the latest Adreno. That's good to know. I'm glad to see that. It's good to see some competition come out. And I'm glad that AMD is doing something in the mobile scene. And to have them come out and, swinging is good. So I'm glad. I actually have to do a little research and read about that AMD GPU that they're working on. That's good to know. Thank you. Ahmad is saying 775G for the Pixel 5. I would hope so. I would love that. But knowing Google, I just don't know if that's going to be a thing. Would I love to see that? Yes, that would be amazing to see, especially if they're going to price it at $700. Then they might as well put a better chipset in there. But who knows if that's what they're going to have. Darkman X2G is saying 4A is 730. Yep. So at least the rumor is pointing to 730. I have messed with a 730. I had a Galaxy A71, guys. I returned that phone. I didn't even have time to do a camera comparison, and I'm very sorry about that. I really need to prioritize my time and what I'm doing for my work here and all the other clients I have at the moment, because I have a lot of work right now. And it sucks that I had that Galaxy A71 and I didn't even get to test the camera. I got to use it like a handful of times. But Darkman X2G, yes, 730. And actually, it's not bad. It's not a bad chipset at all. And actually, I have an article about that afterwards, comparing the Google Pixel 4 versus the Pixel 3a. And we're going to get into that in a bit. Y2019 says, even if for most people, it barely matters, but they are actual features instead of a faster CPU, better batteries, which are already good enough. That is a good point there. Why? Brian also says just buy last year's flagship to get an okay price. And that's a fair point too. And that is always an option for people who I feel like sometimes forget or who get lost in the sauce. I think people are starting to get this 5G thing is starting to get pushed out even more and more. And I think people feel like they're missing out if they don't get 5G. And I even saw an article today about a new Galaxy coming out. Was it an A42, like a really low end phone? And it's like, it's going to have 5G. It's going to be the cheapest 5G phone that you can get. Who cares? Why? Why would you spend even a cheap price for a phone just for 5G when you can get a decent performer with 4G LTE that will perform more than enough for most people? I don't think anybody out here is pining for 5G at the moment. So, Darkman X2G says, with an iPhone 12 rumored price point at $550, I might have to go to iOS this year. Yeah, and I was talking about that on Friday Night Tech Talk. Is the rumor is there might be a very, very, very cheap iPhone 12 at $550 with OLED. It's supposed to, that is the rumor. We don't know that for sure. But that rumor is saying there might be an iPhone 12 that comes out, right? That is going to have the OLED display. That's going to have an A14 chipset. So again, the best chipset that you can buy. It's going to have the main shooter that you're going to find in the iPhone 12 Pro. It's going to have I'm assuming it's going to have a good battery, and it might be priced at $550. The reason a $550 price point is because it won't have 5G. It'll just be 4G LTE. That might be like the phone to buy. and I'm not saying that as an Apple biased person, because you guys know where my bias is. I am a Pixel person through and through. Although even though I'm not happy with their stuff lately, I am still always rooting for Google. But if Apple decides to bring out an iPhone 12 at $550 with all of those specs, and that's what I was talking about on Friday as well. At $550, it's going to completely annihilate the iPhone XR. So they're gonna have to get rid of that phone, but this iPhone 12 will take its place. I just feel like a $550 price point is going to be a very viable option for a lot of people who want an excellent camera, great performance. I don't know how good the battery is going to be. Brian made a good point last time saying, how good is the battery going to be for a 5.4-inch phone? Especially considering the iPhone SE, the battery on that is not good at all. So that is a good point. So I don't even know how good that battery is going to be. You also have to consider the fact it's going to have an all display, an all screen display is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that is a good point. A lot of people might switch over because of that. Team Verizon says, I wonder if they'll price the SE lower when they release the new iPhones later this year. They very well might be. They might do it. I don't see why they wouldn't. I feel like they should be doing that anyway, because $400 is still a really good price for a phone, but $400 with 64 gigs of internal storage, I really think that they should drop that by $50. And then $400 for 128 gigs, I could see them doing that for sure. Let me see here. Darkman is also saying I'm fine with no headphones and no charger. Right. And that's the rumor too. To keep prices low is there will be no ear pods in it. There will be no charger in it either. They'll just put a USB to lightning cable in there, which I would be fine with as well, just because I have so many, but I understand that it might be an issue for other people. Team Verizon says, we talked about that. Sean says, I'm buying the Xperia 1 Mark II. I'm giving it a try. Sean, yeah, that's great. If you haven't had a chance, Grant was on Friday Night Tech Talk, and Grant just got the Xperia 1 Mark II, and I think he did an unboxing on his channel. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out, Grant's a great YouTuber, and Grant's a very smart dude. And I think he has very good insight. So if you haven't had a chance, take a look. But Sean, please let me know how you feel about that Xperia 1 Mark II. I know that it's a pricey phone, and I don't know why, but I'm still about to spend $1,600 on a Huawei P40 Pro Plus. But Sean, please keep us up to date on that phone if you do get it. Let me see here. Big House Productions says, as long as Apple keeps updating the older models, there's no reason for me to upgrade. That's also a very, very good point. That's a very good point. And the reason I agree with you there is I have my Apple Watch Series 3, and as long as this is going to keep getting the newest updates for watchOS, I will keep that until they decide to stop supporting the Series 3. I will keep using that in the meantime. Okay, let me scroll back down here. Team Verizon says, I mean, Nintendo pulled the no charger stunt with the 3DS XL. I totally forgot about that. Okay, let me scroll down here. RSILINNYC says, I don't care for 5G, especially if it's going to kill the battery. That is a great point as well. And as much as I want to root for Pixels, maybe they have to take an L with the new iPhones. And I feel like they've already been taking L's. They've been taking L's for quite a bit, which I hate to say. And when the iPhone 11 came out, I really think that showed the gap in between where the Pixel was and where the iPhone is. I think right now it's a disservice that the Pixel 4 is still being priced at $800. They should have just kept that sale price at $499 and kept it there. The fact that they've brought it back up to $800 just doesn't sit well with me. But yeah, I'm on board with you. I feel the same way. Deepak says, I'm okay with no earphones and a charger. Everyone has one at home. That's a good point. That is a good point. Brian says they should just give you the 5-watt charger instead of no brick. What happens if you're switching from Android? That's also a good point. But I don't know. I don't know how much it costs them to add that 5-watt charger. A penny, 2 pennies. Are they really saving that much money? But maybe they are. I have no idea. I have no idea. Okay, so let me see here. Sean says, "Peace out, dongle life." Big House says, "Right, Brian. For what they charge for phones, put the damn thing in the box." You guys have solid points. I really can't argue with that. I really can't. Okay, but you know what? Since we're talking about Google, also let us transition into this. This article from Android Central. You know what? I have actually been very happy with Android Central's articles. I feel like they bring up things that a lot of people might want to talk about and they don't. And they don't do it in a clickbaity way. Android Central, I think, is pretty legit. I should hit Android Central up and see if they have opening. I don't know. I don't know if Android Central would, if they're even looking for anyone, but Android Central has, I feel like they have really good articles. And I feel like I'm always pulling up an article that they've talked about because they bring up a lot of good points with stuff. So this article from Android Central says the Google Pixel 4 versus the Pixel 3a, which should you buy? I'll ask you guys that right now. If you were to buy a phone today, or if you needed to buy a phone today, would you spend $800 on a Pixel 4, or would you spend the 300? What is it right now for the Pixel 3a? The 300 something for a Pixel 3a. Is there really a $500 difference right now on a Pixel 4 and a Pixel 3a? I mean, that's a valid question. I was talking about this also on Friday Night Tech Talk. Friday Night Tech Talk are the cameras that much different right now for a Pixel 4 and a Pixel 3a? And I think the consensus was not really. I don't think there's much of a difference at this point. So let's see here. I haven't read this article, so we're going to take some time. We're going to talk about it. But the Pixel 4 is Google's latest flagship smartphone offering. And while it is more expensive than the 3a, you're getting a lot for your money. The 90 hertz display is a joy to have. So, I mean, I notice the smoothness, and it is nice to see every once in a while, but I don't know if it's a deal breaker for me. The addition of a telephoto camera opens up new shooting possibilities. And yeah, that's also true, but I really don't use my telephoto that much. And the upgraded performance is a great bonus for power users. And then as far as the Pixel 3a, if you don't need the very latest and greatest, the Pixel 3a is a worthy alternative to the Pixel 4. Yes, it has a less impressive processor, display, and only one rear camera, but the day-to-day experience of using the phone is sublime. Not only is it considerably more affordable, but the 3a also beats the 4 in some regards. Okay, well, I would love to see where they're talking about that. So the pros: a fluid 90 hertz display, 2 rear cameras, motion sense gestures. Is this really a plus, guys? How many of you guys use motion sense on your Pixel 4? Anybody? Speedy face unlock. Okay, I give it to the Pixel 4. The face unlock is a lot better than where it was. Newer processor and more RAM. The pros for the 3a: OLED screen looks great, excellent camera, fast and reliable fingerprint sensor. Yes, I agree. Fingerprint sensor, I love it. 3.5mm headphone jack and a competitive price. Yes. So for sure, a lot of these pros I agree with. Cons: a smaller battery and expensive. The cons for the 3a: it doesn't have wireless charging and only 4 gigs of RAM. This is a classic flagship versus mid-ranger battle. On the one hand, you have the Pixel 4. You'll pay a pretty penny for the privilege of owning it. See, you didn't have to pay a pretty penny, though. This phone at one point was $500 on sale, and I feel like that's the price it really belongs at. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the Pixel 4 is probably a $500 price point. That's where it needs to stick at. But it justifies a steep price. See, I don't think it justifies a steep price. With its 90 hertz display, dual rear cameras, and beefier internals, if none of that matters to you, however, the 3a offers a shockingly similar experience for hundreds of dollars less, making it a fantastic choice for bargain hunters. When comparing flagship phones against a mid-range one, such as in this case, you're going to find obvious advantage with the more expensive handset. The Pixel 4 costs twice as much as the Pixel 3a, and while that is a great deal more, we think it does an excellent job of justifying the price difference. I'm not on board with that. And obviously everyone can have their own opinion. I just don't agree with it. For starters, the Pixel 4 is one of the few devices on the market to ship with a 90 hertz display. This means that everything on the screen refreshes at a faster rate than most other phones, resulting in apps, games, and websites to move with more fluidity than you usually see. And I mean, I will admit that fluidity is nice, but there are times I'm using my Pixel 4 and I don't really even notice it. It's hard to explain in words, but once you see it in person for yourself, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. Another big win for the 4 is its camera package. Not only is the primary 12 megapixel camera upgraded with better low light performance, you also benefit from having the 16 megapixel telephoto camera to go along with it. This allows you to zoom up close to your subjects, making it easier to pull off great photos of things that are far away. There are two other big differentiators between the two phones, and they are face unlock and motion sense. And so this is a point of contention for me because I don't think that face unlock is that much better than the rear fingerprint reader that you can find in the Pixel 3 or the Pixel 3a. And then let's not even get into motion sense. I don't even use it. It's turned off on my phone. I don't use it at all. I don't use that solely radar. I don't use any of that stuff. Only thing I use is face unlock because I don't have a choice. We've seen countless Android phones try to offer their own face unlock system, but the one on the Pixel 4 aims to be the best one we've seen yet. Along with being outrageously fast, it's also secure enough to be used for unlocking sensitive apps, such as your banking app and authorizing purchases. I have to chime in here. This is just a feature that just got added on, at least for me, on my Chase banking app. Now I can use face unlock and it's nice to have. It's just, it took 8 months to get it on my Pixel 4. I have the Capital One app and I still can't unlock that with my face. So yes, it's great to have, but I can't even use it. You know what would have alleviated that? A fingerprint reader. If I had my fingerprint reader, then I wouldn't have had to wait 6-7 months to use face unlock. I wouldn't have had to swap over to my iPhone 11 Pro because face unlock works with that, or Face ID works on that to unlock my phone. Now, is this just Google's fault? No, it's also the third party on there, but it just goes to show that, hey, convenience is an important thing. And because I can use it on my iPhone for the last 6 months, for the last half year, why would I use my Pixel 4 then? Why am I going to use the Chase app to unlock why am I going to use the Chase app on my Pixel 4 when I have to put my password in? Why? When I can use my iPhone 11 Pro and just unlock with Face ID. Okay, that might be different today, at least for the Chase app, but I still can't use it with my Capital One app. Take that into consideration. I understand that these guys are trying to make a point for the Pixel 4, but that's not. Those points are still not completely valid yet. On top of all that, there's the usual array of benefits you get with the flagship phone. The Pixel 4 has a much faster Snap 855 processor, 6 gigs of RAM compared to 4 on the Pixel 3a, Qi wireless charging, and a proper water resistance rating. So those are fair points when it comes to that. Fair points when it comes to that. Making a case for the 3a, there's not a doubt in our mind that the 4 is a top-notch phone, but in that same breath, it's also perfectly understandable that not everyone wants to spend close to $1,000 on a new phone. If you like the idea of the Pixel 4 and want a similar experience, but for considerably less money, the 3a is a smart move. It was released back in May 2019, and while it isn't as new as the 4, it holds up admirably well. What really makes the Pixel 3a stand out is its 12 megapixel rear camera. It's almost identical to the 12 megapixel camera on the 4, and as such, it takes fantastic pictures. They're detailed, handle low light scenarios with ease, and have true to life color. Not only does the 3a take the best pictures for a phone in its price range, it takes some of the best pictures of any smartphone out there, period. So while I agree with all of that for me, I feel like that also begs the question, why wasn't the Pixel 4 leagues better than the Pixel 3 or 3a in terms of the camera? I feel like that's where Google needed to step up with their Pixel 4, was have the camera compete a lot better with the iPhone 11 Pro. I mean, yes, the Pixel 3 and Pixel 4 are excellent cameras, but I feel like the Pixel 4 really needed to do more than just be a little better than the Pixel 3 or Pixel 3a. Okay, other aspects of the 3a aren't quite as strong, but they still create for a great user experience. The OLED display is easy on the eyes. There's a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, something you won't find on the Pixel 4, and the battery is even a little bit bigger. You're missing out on things like wireless charging and a proper waterproof rating when you buy the Pixel 3a. but as a complete package and for how much Google's asking for the phone, it's hard to complain too much. It is a phone that probably is very recommendable for a lot of people. I don't know if I would always recommend it, especially because I know the 4A is coming. That's why I have a harder time trying to recommend it right now. If for me, I feel like for a lot of people, if you can wait a couple months or maybe a month, maybe it's just best to wait for the 4A. Anyway, saying here, what should you buy? At the end of the day, a comparison like this ultimately comes down to how much or little you're willing to spend on a new phone. No matter how you slice it, the Pixel 4 will always be better than the 3A. I agree with that. I just don't think you should be spending $800 for a Pixel 4. Wait until that drops back down to $500, then yes, I would recommend the Pixel 4 for a lot of people. What you need to decide is whether or not its advantages over the 3A are worth the price difference. For some people, the 4 will be well worth it. For others, the 3A and its cost savings will make the most sense. These are both incredible phones, so no matter which one you choose, you'll be in for a real treat. Okay, let me get back into chat here. I wanted to share that because like I agree with a lot of these things, but I also don't agree with everything. And that's perfectly fine. And it's perfectly fine if you don't agree with me either. I got to put my opinion out there. I still think Android Central does a great job putting articles out like this and giving the consumer or the reader a couple choice options instead of just the run-of-the-mill leaks and rumors that we just keep seeing every day. Okay, so let me see here. Let me go back into chat. Okay, so let me scroll. Well, you guys have been talking a bit. Okay, Sean says Google needs Huawei to design the Pixels. I would love that. Their design and hardware are garbage. The 6P to this day is their best looking phone. I love my 6P. I really do. Deepak says, in fact, the 6P was an awesome device, Huawei hardware and pure Google software. Totally agree. See, now when you guys are talking about Huawei like this, I'm like, I got to buy that Huawei P40 Pro Plus. I got to buy it. Okay, so let me scroll back. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to be able to get everything, go through all the chat in here. Deepak says, I would definitely go for the 3A. I got both, and there is not a huge difference. Thank you for sharing your feedback on that. Y2019 says, or is saying, is a Pixel 2 XL recommendable in 2020? I will leave that up to the rest of chat because I haven't used a 2 in a long time, and I have no idea how good that chipset is holding up today. So I really don't know. Big House says, I'll take the 3A XL. There you go. Darkman says, for the camera, Shutterbug Pixel 3A is too slow to process if you're taking a lot of pictures simultaneously. Thank you for sharing that as well. I've never owned a 3A, so I have no idea how this phone really performs when it comes to that. Thank you for sharing that. That's actually good to know. Deepak says the difference is especially in night photography and autofocus performance. We're talking about the difference between the 3A and the 4, night photography and autofocus performance. Okay. Man, you know what? I have to watch my own videos on the 3 and the 4. It's been a while. I don't even really remember how I felt specifically when it comes to a lot of that stuff here. A lot of you guys are saying, yeah, I would personally go with the 3A or the 3A XL. Let's see here. Y says Android 11 will be the last one, I think. No, come on, Y. Android 11 will be the last one? Oh, wait, are you talking about the Pixel 2? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying Android's going to stop making Android. Sean says 90 hertz is dope, but it's not that much of a difference because it's variable, not fully active. That's a good point too. And maybe that's why sometimes I don't really notice it because it isn't always fully active. Darkman says reason why I ditched the Pixel 4 is because of the Chase app. It never got face unlock. See, there you go. Look at that. Look at Darkman's deal breaker right there. He's ditching it because of that Chase app. I mean, it also goes to show how important software is to the experience, which is funny that I say that because I'm talking about getting this Huawei P40 Pro and I'm not going to be able to use a lot of stuff on it. Y says 90 hertz can be changed to be fully active on developer settings. I didn't know that. Y. Actually, thank you for saying that because I will actually change that now that you say that. Darkman also says, but I do love the camera. I miss it. I'm on the S20 now. Sean's saying it's still not consistent though. Most apps are still on 60 hertz. Thank you for also pointing that out. I didn't know that. Okay. Ahmed says, man, Google should stop using the same camera sensor over and over. They need to step up their level because Apple not only caught up to them, but surpassed them. So Ahmed, I feel the same way. I do have the same sentiments. That's something I've been talking about for a long time. Now, Grant feels differently. Grant, and I respect Grant's opinion very much so. And Grant actually had a few good points that he talked about on Friday Night Tech Talk. Grant still feels like he still prefers the Pixel 4 camera over the iPhone 11 or 11 Pro. I don't. I think the 11 or 11 Pro, at least in terms of night photography, beats the Pixel 4 easily. Doesn't oversaturate the photos. I think it's more pleasing to the eye. I think it has better control under like different scenarios of lighting, especially at night. And you're right. I feel like they need to step up their game. Google needs to step up their game when it comes to the camera sensor. But Grant also made a good point saying that maybe they haven't done so because they don't, or they have not figured out the algorithm yet when it comes to, I guess, better sensors. And I guess in that same respect, I'm like, well, why haven't they? They really need to then and get the AI working on better sensors at this point. I mean, why not put the best of both worlds in there and have great sensors and have great AI and just get all of that working? But I agree with you, Ahmed. I'm fully on board with your sentiments there. So Sean says, I love Google, but they've had terrible decisions for years, including discontinuing Google Play Music. Let me see here. Y says you should buy the normal P40 Pro. That's what Grant is telling me too. He's like, you would save a ton of money. The Plus only has the extra periscope. And if I'm correct, better build quality. I think it is all. Yeah, I think that's what it is too. Y. I know I really should, but I don't know. We'll see. I haven't pulled the trigger on that yet. So we'll see. RSILI and NYC says, don't forget Root can help with keeping 90 hertz on all the time. There you go. And can also keep the Pixel 2 going longer as well. That's a fair point. That is a fair point. So, okay. Let me actually, we're rounding out the hour here. I am gonna save some of these other stories for tomorrow, but since Y had this up here, I will talk about it. This article from XDA is saying alleged Xiaomi Redmi 9A official renders show up online a day before the launch. So what, the launch is tomorrow then, I guess? Is that what we're talking about here? Despite a wide range of products, Xiaomi truly excels when it comes to its budget offerings. The company's entry-level Redmi A series is fairly popular in several parts of the world, including Southeast Asia, Latin America, and Europe. Xiaomi launched Redmi 8A back in September last year, and the phone, like its predecessor, offers great value for its price of just about $100. That is super cheap. This is probably why I normally don't talk about phones this cheap, but that's crazy cheap. Now Xiaomi is gearing up to unveil its successor, the Redmi 9A, along with another budget device, the Redmi 9C, tomorrow on June 30th. But just a day ahead of the launch, official renders of the Redmi 9A appears to have slipped out and leaked online. Xiaomi Malaysia recently took to Facebook to confirm the launch of Redmi 9A and 9C in the country. The creative used for the status update represents a generic display with a V-shaped notch. While the A series has been going strong for several years now, the Redmi C series is new. Although the purported specs of the Redmi 9A and the 9C have been making rounds on the internet for some time, the phones have evaded any visual expose. This seemingly changes today, just a day before their launch, as Playful Droid claims to have sourced official renders of the Redmi 9A. The phone appears in 3 different colors, gray, green, and blue in these alleged renders. I mean, it doesn't look bad at all for a $100 phone, right? Although we would suggest taking these renders with a grain of salt, they coincide with a block diagram from the listing on FCC, which can be confirmed by, blah, 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 checking this and that. In addition, the Redmi 9A has also been certified, but the listing doesn't reveal much about the phone. Other specs, that's what I'm trying to look is the other specs on here. So Powered by a MediaTek Helio G25 chipset. I don't know too much about this, guys. Feature a single 13 megapixel camera on the back with a 5 megapixel selfie shooter. It'll have a 6.5 inch HD plus display and be available with 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of internal storage. The 9C, on the other hand, is expected to be powered by a Helio G35 chipset, also powering the Realme C11 that launches in Malaysia on the same day as the 9A and 9C. Since there's not much time left to the official reveal, we won't have to spend much more time contemplating the authenticity of these leaks. So again, for you guys who are interested or who are looking for a very cheap handset at around $100, or you live in these areas where they will be offering them, I mean, tomorrow is the launch. I'm sure you guys will tune in wherever it's being tuned in at. I have no idea because, again, I haven't kept up with that. But I do want to thank Y for sharing this article, and just thought I would share it with you all as well. Okay, really quick. I know that there are people in chat. I will go through whatever chat is left, but also for people who are in here or watching, if you just got here, please feel free to watch the replay if you haven't already. Well, not already because it hasn't played yet, but for people in the stream, please do not forget to hit that like button. Liking the stream, I think, helps me in an algorithmic kind of way. Either way, it's just a great way to support. If you do not know, I stream Mondays through Fridays at 2 p.m. Central on the dot for the last however long now. So if you want to be notified of when I'm streaming, hit that subscribe button. Please consider being a subscriber. That is also another way to support me, and it would be very much appreciated. At the same time, if you are in chat and you're looking at the stream and you see people with green in their name, or you see a red Chicago badge next to their name, that's because they are part of the Phone Jerome fam, and you can be one too for as little as 99 cents a month. All you got to do is click that blue join button. I know I'm streaming this on Facebook as well, so if anybody's watching this on Facebook, I don't think anyone is, but come onto YouTube. You can go to click this join button. You could do so for as little as 99 cents a month. You'll get that red Chicago star badge. You'll get to use custom emoji. You'll get your name on the intros and outros of every one of my live streams. Also, I apologize to RSILINNYC. I still have not updated my intro outro. I will get you on there. I promise you that. There are other tiers as well, but again, for as little as 99 cents a month, it's just a great way to support. If you can't find that join button, you can go to youtube.com/PhoneJerome/join. And really, that's all I got. Just my little marketing thing for you guys. Either way, for you guys to just come in and support and be part of, the community I really appreciate it. I love bringing this content to you guys. I love having a community and chatting and just having an actual civil discussion about where we can go with tech and, just be a good part of the community. I see a super chat here from Big House Productions, a $5 super chat. Big House, thank you, man. Thank you for that continued support. You have been such a huge supporter lately, and I really appreciate it. Again, with the $5 super chat, channel support, with the thumbs up, Big House Productions, thank you so much, man. Thank you for always coming into the stream, engaging in chat, and just being part of the community. It really means a lot to me. Let me go ahead and scroll back up here. The Redmi 9A is the most basic, but then is the 9C, and then the best of the series is the 9, just so everyone knows. Thank you, Y. Actually, I appreciate you saying that because I don't really know. So 9A, the most basic, then the 9C is a step above, I'm guessing, and then the 9 is the better series there. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Brian, with all the emoji custom ones in there. Max Tech Studios is in here as well. Hey, Jerome. Hey, Max Tech Studios. Welcome. Appreciate you joining the stream. Nice to see you on here. Nice to have you stop by. Deepak is saying, I got the 11 Pro Max, 11, and Pixel 4. I have deeply tested their cameras. iPhone 11 series wins. I feel the same way. I feel the same way, Deepak. I really do. I mean, you guys know that already. I have camera comparisons out there, so you guys know where I stand when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, but I feel ya. Paul says, we are Jerome's therapists. It is, I will say, it is nice to have a community. It really is. It's nice to have a fledgling community where we can all come in here and talk and just I don't know. It's really cool to have. It's not something I always knew I had some kind of a fan base or whatever, but it's nice to see people just come in here regularly and talk tech and chat and have all that kind of stuff. Big House says, still enjoying the Xiaomi Redmi Note 9S battery. There you go, man. I'm sure, man, I really need to get into the Redmi game. Or Xiaomi or whatever, and just like learn a little more about it. I think it would be good for me to get my hands dirty when it comes to that stuff and give you guys my thoughts. I mean, even testing out the cameras and all of that, I think is really important. Otherwise, guys, I think that's it for today. I usually will stream a little longer. I mean, we're already past the hour, but I have a ton of stuff that I have to get finished today. So I need to get on with that. But for everybody that's in here, I do want to thank everybody for stopping by. Please, tomorrow, come back again tomorrow. We're doing it all over again. I will be streaming again at the same time at 2 p.m. Central. And yeah, I think that's it. Sorry, I'm just sitting here actually just trying to pull up the outro. So I'm stalling a little bit. But yes, guys, thank you so much again for joining in today's stream. Come back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central. We'll do it all over again. We'll have more news to talk about. We'll talk about whatever's happening in the tech world. I have a couple stories that I have that I didn't get a chance to talk about. So we'll do that as well. I actually think I'm going to put iOS 14 beta 1 on my phone, and maybe we'll go over that. I'll give you my thoughts on it. We'll share, how I feel about it and, all that good stuff. So with that being said, I am ending the stream for today. Come back tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Take it easy. Bye. Wait. I gotta pause. I didn't see the super chat. RSILINNYC with a $5 super chat that I didn't. I'm so sorry. I didn't see I'm seeing it now. You're good, Jerome. Let me stop punishing you. It's R for Ruben. Well, I'm glad I can put a name now to it. S for Cillin, like penicillin. Okay. Arcillin NYC. Yeah. Okay. Now I got you. Ruben, thank you so much for the super chat. Ruben, thank you. So Arcillin NYC, I got you now, Ruben, thank you so much. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the continued support. You guys, Big House, man, what do you do? Big House with another $5 super chat. Guys, thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for that support. Really, I don't, guys, thank you. Please, I know times are tough for everybody right now. So like, I appreciate it, but also please think about yourselves as well. Make sure that you guys are able to do your thing. But thank you so much for the support. It helps offset costs. It helps doing what I'm doing. It helps remind me that I need to keep doing this on the daily, because it's fun for one, but I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you guys. I see everyone you guys are so kind. So thank you so much. Big House, thanks for the support. Okay. All right. Phone Jerome fam. That's right. Ruben Arcillin NYC. I got it. Hopefully I'll remember that. Arcillin. Got it. Okay. Outro. Here comes the outro. Thank you. Thank you guys again. Thank you so much. Here we go. Bye everyone. Take it easy.